too. I love it. Let's go.
Hey YouTube, what's good? Today I want to chat to you about finding the right laptop for your creative workflow. Taking photos and filming video is only half of the creative process, so finding the right laptop is a crucial component to producing high-level work. Today I wanted to go through a list of the things that I look for in a laptop, and hopefully this checklist and benchmark helps you find the right laptop for your needs. Keep in mind that everyone's workflow and process is a bit different. That said, I think I've found the perfect laptop for creatives. The Gigabyte Aero 15-inch OLED. This video is sponsored by Gigabyte, but rest assured, if there's something I don't like about it, I'll mention it. Let's get into it. So before we start this review, I should give you some context into my workflow. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based in Sydney at the moment, but I do travel a lot. Often when I'm traveling for work, I'll try to either get there a week early or stay back a week so I can explore the local area a bit more. I often get asked how I'm able to travel so often. How can you afford it? Who pays for it? A lot of the times my travel comes out of my own pocket. One of the secrets that have enabled me to travel this much is the ability to work out of anywhere in the world. Having a high-performance laptop really helps you untether from being dependent on a single office to work out of. When your travel laptop is the same computer you use to edit at home, it means you can work from anywhere in the world. This often means I'm working out of a cafe or a hotel room quite often. A tip is to bring a HDMI cable so you can plug it into the hotel or the Airbnb TV and use that as a secondary monitor, especially if you're editing video. I only started bringing a HDMI cable with me and it's changed the way I work. You can also watch Netflix and YouTube on the big screen, which helps quite a bit. So generally there's three main things I look for when finding a laptop for myself. Firstly, they need to be travel ready. They need to be lightweight and portable so I can bring it along wherever I go. It comes in at 25 by 35.6 centimeters wide and weighs 2 kilos, which is not too bad. I have a low Pro Tactic 450 and it fits in there just fine. It's sturdy and feels well built. I also like the stealthy black aesthetic a lot. Touch ID is an awesome and convenient way to log in. I like that it's integrated into the trackpad so it's nice and easy to reach. The keyboard is RGB backlit, which is super customizable in the Gigabyte control panel. I like to have it set up simple and red, but it's nice to know that I can change it whenever I want. There's a good amount of key travel on the keyboard and it's nice to type on. It has a bunch of I/O ports so you don't need to live that dongle life. They've even included a full HDMI port and an SD card slot, which is pretty rare on laptops these days. Both of these make life so much easier as a creative. I do wish they had put more than one USB-C port though, as I'm slowly transitioning to USB-C everything. There are plenty of vents for cooling this beast of a laptop, which is great for performance. However, I'd recommend getting a sleeve to put the Aero in as the internals are quite exposed. I took my bag to the sand dunes one time and it feels like I'll never be able to get all the sand out. So a laptop sleeve might be a worthwhile investment to keep the sand, dust and dirt from getting inside the laptop. This brings me to the second thing on my laptop checklist, performance. They need to be powerful enough to handle my regular workflow, specifically video because it's more taxing on the computer rather than editing photos. This is important so I can edit on the go. I've already mentioned this, but this laptop is a beast. It sports a 10th gen Intel i7 with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super graphics card. If you've been following my channel, you'd know that I recently bought the Canon EOS R5, which is really good and high quality. You can check my review, I'll put up here. The quality in the uncropped 4K is great, but the files are really hard to edit. They're H.265, 422. This is a huge problem. I think the problem's to do with the codec. A lot of graphics cards currently can't handle at the moment. You can watch a video, I'll leave in the top left, by Max. Even his $15,000 Mac Pro couldn't even play back the 4K files properly. I'm glad to say that the Gigabyte Aero can play them back no problem. Scrubbing through them is really smooth and you can edit. I've even put color grades on them and it runs fine. 4K 16 and above does start to get a bit choppy during playback, so you're gonna have to transcode those, but the Gigabyte Aero transcodes them way faster than my MacBook. To transcode about 80 gigabytes worth of videos, it took my top spec MacBook about 28 minutes, while the Gigabyte Aero came in at under 16 minutes. It's important to note that to get the max performance out of this machine, it needs to be plugged into power and the performance settings need to be turned up in the Gigabyte control panel. To reach this peak performance, however, the fans and cooling system need to be quite powerful. At max power, the fans do get quite loud. I'd go so far as to say that they'd even start to drown out the audio from the laptop speakers. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the speakers, as they are a bit too heavy on the treble side for me. A solution for both these issues, however, is to edit with some quality noise cancelling headphones. I think a bit of noise is an easy compromise if it means that you can edit your videos without dropping frames. Let's be honest, you should probably be editing video with headphones on anyway. And lastly, the screen needs to be high quality and color accurate. So being a photographer and filmmaker on the go, the screen is really important to me. I don't really have the luxury of carrying my 2 monitors with me while I travel, so having a screen on the laptop that's high quality and color accurate is pretty important. The screen is really crisp and vibrant. It's a 4K panel. I can't really capture it on camera, but it's one of the better screens I've come across on a laptop. Each screen is individually calibrated at factory to meet the X-Rite Pantone certification. I really like how frameless the screen looks, with minimal bezels on the sides and top. It makes it look like the screen's floating. I like that they've chosen to have the bezel on the bottom, which elevates the screen away from the keyboard line of sight. On other laptops, I often can't see the bottom of the screen when I'm typing, which can get really annoying. They also have a gaming version of the laptop which comes with a 1080 screen, but it has a higher refresh rate. The version I've got now is a 60Hz refresh, which is fine for what I need it for. So that about wraps it up. The Gigabyte Aero 15-inch OLED is one of the best options on the market at the moment, especially for creators on the go. I hope this review was helpful to you. I also want to test more cameras and tech in the future, so let me know what you want to see next. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. See ya!